everyone to the weekly team hangouts. This time we're not joined by a Dusk team member, but our partner, Sozu, and we have T- here, one of the co-founders. And we're very excited to learn more about what Sozu is building and your current open beta phase and what's coming after that. And of course, what all of this means for the Dusk holders. A little introduction for those that might not know. Actually, yeah, T-, you can give a little introduction if you'd like, to yourself and Sozu, just for everyone who might not know.
Right. So listen, my name is Jack, so you can just call me Jack. Yeah. So Sozu, we have been in the community for a long time. Like most of you that have been around have seen me interact for a while now. Mr. Smith is the same. He has been around since like I don't know, a lot of 2021, I think. So yeah, we are basically two community members that just decided to build something on Dusk. That's
nice. And yeah, definitely OGs since you've been here since 2021. That's amazing. That's so cool. And we're going to get a bit, I do have a couple of questions about that as well. I'm curious, how you all kind of came together and all of that, but also a little bit of introduction from my side. Just want you guys know, like Jack mentioned, Sozu is a community built project. They are leveraging hyperstaking or stake abstraction, as we like to call it, a Dusk. And they're the first project to do that. So they offer delegated staking solutions that lets users participate in securing the Dusk network and earning staking rewards without actually needing to run a node themselves. So it makes everything much easier for everyone. You don't need to run a node. You can just use Sozu if running a node might be too complicated, which is awesome. And for those that don't know, or if it's your first time hearing about hyperstaking and stake abstraction, that's basically, it's more than delegated staking. It's actually an innovation that Dusk developed, which enables smart contracts to participate directly in the staking process and not just individual users. So this transforms staking from a manual process to an automated and decentralized system that can be automated through these smart contracts directly. Now, with that out of the way, I want to get back a little bit to yourself, Jack, and Mr. Smith. You mentioned, you've been here since 2021. You both, I assume you both met within the community, or did you know each other before that?
Yeah. Well, no, we just met through the community. So the story goes like this, right? So last year we were doing ITN2, right? So that was like a very active time in the Telegram chat, and I was interacting like a lot in the chat, right? Like everybody was interacting, like testing and stuff. Then Mr. Smith messaged me, right? Basically says, do you want to build something? And then we start talking, and then we zero in on the liquid staking solution, right? Because liquid staking is like a core building block of any DeFi activity on any network, right? So after that, we ran kind of like a viability analysis, like, can we actually build the idea, right? And then once we were certain that it was doable, then we went ahead and started the whole process, which, to be honest, we thought it was going to be simpler. But yeah, as with everything, once you are on it, you start like saying that it's not that simple.
Right. Yeah, makes sense. I assume that was a problem that you also noticed within, or like an issue that arose during the the ITN phase, since a lot of people were testing staking, I assume you noticed that for a lot of individuals it might have been a bit difficult. So you came up with the solution of creating this solution yourself, and creating taking it further, not just delegated staking but liquid staking. And can you actually tell us a little bit of what liquid staking is for those that might not be familiar with the term?
Right. So liquid staking is a process where you participate on the consensus of any network. Doesn't have to be Dusk. It can be any network, and you get back a token that represents your portion of the pool. Right. Like there is a pool that we stake, and you get a token that represents that portion. Right. So the token is a fungible token, meaning that you can trade it, exchange it, do whatever, right? So your funds are not locked in the consensus. You can earn the rewards from the consensus, and then you can use a token in something else. Like for example, if in the future we have like a DeFi product, you could earn yield from that token in any product that enables that. So at the end of the day, you are basically doubling the value of the network, right? Because you are earning in two places with just a single fund, right? So you're basically doubling the value. There are solutions too in Ethereum, right? Where you can re-stake. So it's like you compound the earnings basically, right? And they give you another token, and then you can go. So it can even be triple. But for the moment, keeping it simple, you get the token, and then you can use that token somewhere else. Your funds are like fully liquid. That's where the liquid word comes from.
Right, right. So you get rewards from staking itself, and then you also get this liquid token that you could use to earn extra incentives based on what's available. Very cool. Very cool. So, could you also tell us a bit about, what was your previous experience before coming together with Mr. Smith to build Sozu, just to get to know you a little bit better? Do you have? I assume you probably have some dev experience from the past projects that you've worked on.
Yes. At this point, I have been a developer for like 10 years. So I have been doing the area that I specialize in is backend, right? So it's not the visual thing you see, is what happens on the background, the ugly part of the equation, basically, right? So I've been doing that for 10 years, and mainly backend APIs and all that, which is useful in Dusk because there are not many like visual things. You just need to interact in the backend, and interactions are not like polished like when you see an UI and whatnot. Mr. Smith also has development experience. He has worked on financial institutions, so he has a nice mix of financial experience and some developing experience. So we can exchange ideas, and I can refine ideas that I have with him, and he can do the same. And yeah, it's a very back and forth process.
Awesome. Good collaboration. And honestly, I got to say, even on the front end side, well, from what we can see as users, I think you guys did a great job with your platform and how everything looks. And I believe you also had to develop your own like wallet extension to interact with your current platform, correct?
Yeah. So yes, so one of the when we were thinking about, right? Because in crypto, one of the I would say one of the fundamental things that are lagging is like polished UIs, right? Like, yes, everything works. You can exchange money and whatnot, but a really polished UI is like fundamental to get anybody in there, not only technical people, right? So when we start thinking about how we were gonna interact with a DOS wallet, right? DOS wallet exists as an independent application, right? We run into some issues where we need to know which account you are interacting with, and you need to sign the transaction, right? Because when you send a transaction, you need like to sign it with a private key. So the wallet itself, the DOS wallet doesn't have those kind of hooks. So we had to develop our own extension where we basically retrieve your encrypted wallet, right? Like, so we retrieve all the data, bring it to Sozu, and then in there you can unlock your wallet, and then we can sign transactions and whatnot. Um, it's still undetermined, right? If we are gonna promote the wallet to a full wallet extension, meaning that I'm not gonna say MetaMask because that's a huge project, but an extension where anybody can hook into that wallet and do the operations that they want, like transfer or whatever. Basically, the same that you see on the regular web wallet, but in an extension, right, where you can just put it everywhere. That's basically the everybody's used to MetaMask and all these extension wallets, so everybody's familiar with that type of interaction.
Right. Right. Yeah, and I guess that was one of the hurdles of building on Dusk DS, being a novel
Yes.
novel tech, and not being EVM compatible, it couldn't tap into the current ecosystem of Ethereum and use the current tool. So I guess that was one of the big hurdles of building Sozu. Before we had the idea and of Dusk EVM and being EVM compatible now. New developers who would like to build something on Dusk would probably find it much easier to just build application on Dusk EVM, being familiar language solidity, and using MetaMask or all the familiar tools of EVM would make it a bit easier. So you guys had to really work at it, but you did a great job, and congratulations on everything you've built, and being so close to your launch. Now you're in your final open beta phase. So yeah, congrats on that, and it's awesome to see.
There are some improvements. There are some improvement that we want to make on the extension before we launch. But I guess I can talk about it on the beta, but there are like some improvement that we are thinking about with the extension.
Awesome. Well, so one of the things that we were talking about, and which I'm quite excited for, is to get a little demo of your open beta and how Dusk holders can participate. Now, I hope you have the permissions to share screen. If you don't, let me know, and I can give make sure to give it.
Let me check. Okay, share screen. All right. Yeah, it seems I do have the permissions.
Sweet.
I generally don't do calls on Discord, so okay, I can see it. All right. So I'm gonna start from scratch, right? Zero, just basic, nothing's installed, nothing. So you go to first of all the first requirement, the only requirement is that you need to have a wallet in the browser where you're gonna open Sozu, right? So you first need to create a wallet. This is a
Right.
testnet wallet, but in mainnet you can create like whatever. So let's go through the creation process here really quick. Copy that. Because I have to put it after. I cannot. Copy. Interesting. Guess we are doing it in the VM is. Um,
No,
the ball.
I hope everyone can see everything clearly. If you don't,
Yeah,
let me know.
I don't know if the resolution is like
Oh, I think
big
the
enough. So
resolution is
if
fine.
it's not,
Yeah, there's a bit of a
uh,
connection lag on my side possibly, but now I can see it properly. Yeah.
okay, okay. All right. So put these right here. Okay. So first, so 20, 30, 70. So now, all right. So now that we have created the wallet, you just put a password. It's important because um, when you put a password, the wallet saves your wallet information into the browser, right? If you don't put a password, it's like an ephemeral wallet, so it's not safe. So you definitely need to put a password in there.
Yep.
We synchronize. So the balance is 0. So now let me send myself some those, and I hope I can paste these from the VM into. I can. Perfect. All right. So I'm gonna send, I don't know, 100 or something. All right. While that is going, now, by the way, you can close this the wallet. You don't need to like keep it open, but let's just keep it there. So you go to our website, right? Inside the main website. Then I don't have any extension installed. So when I click on a wallet, it's gonna prompt me to install the Sozu extension, right? On a wallet, it tells you, all right, so in order to interact with the website, you need to install our extension. You click install extension, right? Then it's gonna bring you to our page where uh, is where the extension is at. You can click add to Chrome, and then you can click add extension here, right? And then that will put it on your Chrome browser, right? So at this point, you are ready to interact with the website, right? So when you click on a wallet here, it's gonna prompt you to to keep you connected, and then accept the terms and service and the privacy policy. And at the top, right now, it tells you which network you are on, right? So if you're in the testnet, it's gonna say Nocturne. When we are on mainnet, it's gonna say mainnet, right? So we connect, and then this again goes and retrieves your wallet data from from where you created, and you put your password, right? It unlocks the wallet, and then it retrieves your balance, right? So I send 100, and then that's the balance that it retrieved, right? At this point, you can click away, and then at this point you're interacting with our contract, right? So you simply, you can stake whatever you like, 50, 10, right? You don't have to you don't have to stake the minimum required. So you don't have to you can stake like 10 or 20 or whatever you have, right? You can do that. Right. So let's take, I don't know, 90, right? And then at this point, when you click stake, is just sending the transaction, and then is querying the network for the status of the transaction. Is it done? What is the update? So generally it takes like a couple of seconds. Right. So it succeeded. So your funds basically were deposited into our contract and are sitting there, right? So you can view the transaction, as this roller itself, interacting with our contract over here, and then how much they use it, right? And then when you go to on a stake, right? So you're gonna have your what you deposited minus the deposit fee. So the deposit fee is 0.25% of what you deposit. The idea behind the deposit fee is that we need to encourage people to commit to the pool, right? So it's to prevent an attack where a user can enter and exit the pool without really committing, right? So it wastes operators' resources. Operators are the one that are running the nodes. So if a user can freely enter and exit the pool, it conflicts with the operators. The fee is supposed to be recouped in a minimum of 3 epochs, so around 1 day or something. You can recoup the fee, and at that point you can on a stake. In our case, we are just gonna on a stake right now, right? So the same thing. When you click on a stake, the transaction is gonna go to our contract, and we are gonna on a stake from the operators that are running the consensus. So you just click on a stake, and then we monitor the network to determine, the status of the transaction. In this screen also we add the rewards, right? So for example, I stake like 90, right? After, I don't know, 10 days, 40 days, it will not be 90, it will be 100. And at that point, you can stake the full 100, and then that will give you your initial deposit plus the reward. So you get the rewards like that. You just stake and and get the rewards like that. And that's it. That's a UI. There is nothing else to it. It's simple stake and unstake. Behind the scenes, yes, there is some crazy things going on with the operators, because the operators get notified that somebody deposit on the contract, and then they need to start like a node, right? The idea behind this product is to maximize the APR, right? So we try to encourage our operators to not compound, right? In the Dusk network, when you compound, you pay a 10% fee on the amount that you're compounding, right? So if you're running your own node and want to compound the stake, you are paying a 10% fee, and that amount is not earning rewards, right? So in our platform, we encourage our operators to start new nodes all the time, right? So they can compound, but it's like a very small amount. Let's say, for example, you can only compound like 2% or 1%, right? So the idea is to encourage maximum APR, right? So yeah, that's it. It's very simple, and that's the whole interaction.
Very cool. Yeah, that looks nice, smooth. That was easy enough to go through that process. So very cool. Good job, guys. This looks awesome. So if anyone wants to join your current open beta phase, this is exactly the steps that they have to do, right? So create a first, in case they don't yet have one, create a Dusk wallet, an official Dusk wallet, have that window open, get the Sozu extension, and after you do that, you can log in into the extension, come onto the Sozu website, stake, go through the whole flow, make sure it works smoothly. And in case there are any bugs or something of the sort, they can, come to you guys and let you know. What would you say the main goal of the current open beta phase is? Is it mainly to find any bugs or to get submission of bugs from the community that's testing, or is it more for you guys to make sure the back end is working properly?
I mean, finding bugs is always good, right? It's kind of a bad news, good news. Good news is that you found a bug. Bad news is something that you assume is wrong, right? And then so it's a good advantage. Yeah. So finding bugs is always good. So, but so we have run 2 previous betas, right? Last beta was for just verify basic functionality like a stake on a stake. That basically came in the first in the second beta. In this beta, we have built for the long term, right? Like we have built for those to be successful, basically, right? So 2 features that we have put in order to realize that vision is a contract updates, right? So contract updates refers to the ability where we can update a contract in the platform without any disruption, right? This is especially prevalent in Dusk in the token, right? For example, in Dusk we don't have a token standard, right? Yes, we can use Ethereum token standard, but maybe there is a new functionality that we need on the token for interaction with a DeFi product and whatnot. And at that point, we need to change like the token contract, right? But you don't want to disrupt the users. So this contract update functionality allows to update the token contract without affecting anything, basically. The same can be done for the contract that handles the stakes, right? Let's say that we want to add a new functionality there. It's totally possible to basically switch out that contract and put a new one with a new functionality that is required. So it allows like a flexibility that is not there if you don't have that capability, right? So that is one of the main things that we want to test on this beta. The other thing that we want to test is the third-party operators interacting with our platform, right? In beta 2, the third-party operators were like really simple, right? We manage them and basically manage the operation for them, right? We add them, we put the stake into them. In this beta, the third-party operators basically manage themselves, right? We just add them, we just register them on the platform, and they need to start new provisioners. They need to put the stake in the pool into those provisioners. They can remove provisioners or add more provisioners. It's up to them, right? And because they are doing that, we pay them a fee of the rewards of the fee on the rewards that we charge. So basically, it's like a profit sharing agreement between the operators and us, right? They are incentivized to do this work because they are receiving like a portion of our fee, and and we can focus on basically bringing stake into a platform so they can operate. That's basically the 2 main features. As always, yes, we are. We want to test like core functionality. Make sure that all the numbers align and all that. But I would say those two are the main focus of this beta phase.
Nice, very nice. Yeah, looking promising. And how long is this final beta phase going to last?
That is a good question. That is a good question, George. So we want to run the beta for at least 3 weeks or so. The idea is we are trying to get the contracts review, but by the way, I can stop sharing now, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
We're trying to get the contracts review, and due to the nature of where the contracts operate, that is in the DOS DS network, not on the EVM. We can only there are only a handful of people that can review this contract. So we are trying to get that review. So we are giving it 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and at that point, if everything checks out on our testnet, uh, I guess we are gonna launch. If we cannot get the contract reviews because those people have like a limited time available, we are gonna launch like a bug bounty campaign where if you find like a bug, you get paid and all that. Those type of campaigns. So to answer your question, I would say 3 to 4 weeks just to get the operators like familiarized, right? Because we are basically running a workshop for our operators to how to interact with our contract and what is expected from them. Yeah, that's
Makes sense.
three
Yeah,
to four
yeah.
weeks.
Okay. Looking forward to it. And I like that you mentioned that if all goes smoothly in this beta phase, then you're ready to launch. That's very exciting. I love that little nugget.
Yes.
And you also mentioned, the liquid token that's going to be that you guys are going to use. It's called StDUSK, if I'm not mistaken. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? And
Yes.
I guess you already kind of mentioned what its role going to be, but maybe just if you want to add
Right,
anything on
but
top of what you
we can
mentioned
we
already.
can we
Yeah.
can we, we're gonna expand on the STDOS, right? So the whole idea of liquid staking is you get a token and then you grab that token and use it somewhere else. Ideally, right? The next step after you get a token, or from our perspective, is that we need tools in Dusk that can operate with the token, right? So it will be ideal for us if the token were to be on the regular wallet, right? Because right now you get the token in the background, but you cannot transfer. So it's like, okay, I got the token, but I want to transfer the token, right? And right now you cannot do that. So either it would be ideal for us to put that functionality on the regular web wallet, the one that everybody uses. It will also be ideal if we could bridge the token, right? So with the EVM being released on this quarter, it'll be ideal if you can bridge the token into the EVM, so you can use the token as if you will use Dusk, right? And ultimately, it will be ideal too if you could use the token on the MPEX dApp, right? So if you think about it, on the MPEX dApp, I am assuming I don't know this information, but I'm like a community member, like all of you. I don't know this information, but I'm assuming that Dusk is gonna play a role in the MPEX dApp, right? In theory, you could put StDUSK to play the same role because it's the same thing. It's just Dusk that is participating in the consensus, right? So, our next step for StDUSK will be to have all that in place, and at that point, magic can happen basically, right? You have StDUSK on the EVM, and anything that launches on the EVM can make use of StDUSK
Right.
basically, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
and you will be earning rewards double in there. So it's that's like StDUSK utility, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. So when you're looking at the future of Sozu and kind of like the long term plan, it would be to collaborate with the different apps that get built on top of Dusk to somehow integrate StDUSK within their apps and provide more utility to the through for StDUSK through those collaborations, right?
Yeah. As users, you want to maximize your leverage, right? So if you can do that using StDUSK, well, you know that's what we need to do. Basically, we just need to increase StDUSK functionality.
Awesome, very exciting. Yeah, that sounds very cool. I'm excited to see where Sozu is going to get, what's coming next for Sozu and where you're going to get integrated. Is going to be fun.
Mhm.
I think that's the main questions that I had prepared for you today. But there is one question that I have from the community in the AMA channel. And if anyone watching right now, if you guys have any more questions, feel free to add them in chat. But one of them is, well, of course, I mean, the main one was when launched, but yeah, we kind of already discussed that, so that's good. But the second one
Yes,
will be Sozu, will there be any airdrops?
right. That's um, that's a good question. Right. So when we announced this product, we committed to uh, doing an early rewards program, right? Early adopters program. That basically means everybody that stake in the I don't know first 6 months, they get an airdrop, right? Like, but by the way, we are not airdropping any token. We are airdropping Dusk. That initially was 200,000. Thus, thus we are exploring if we could increase that, right? Because back then those was price different, so the actual price has changed since that was announced. So we are exploring if we can increase that a little bit. So to answer your question, yes, it's gonna be an early adopters rewards that can be, I guess, it can be translated into airdrops. Yes.
Makes sense. Yeah, that's cool. Is this something that would come before the launch or after launch?
Um, that will be after launch, right? Like
Okay.
when we launch, there is gonna be like a point where we say, all right, so we are gonna start the early adopters campaign, and then everybody that is in there at that point, and everybody that is stake for the duration of the early adopters is gonna receive the
Oh,
airdrops.
right. Right.
The
Okay.
campaign is
Sorry.
gonna be a
Yeah.
structure. Yeah, go ahead.
No. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt. I misunderstood. I
All
thought
right.
it would be
Yeah.
like an early campaign for testers, but you're mentioning it. So the way it's actually going to be is an early campaign for early
Oh,
users of Sozu, right? Once it's live.
yes.
Nice.
For testers, we are. That is a good information of you. For testers, we are collecting interactions with the contract. We do envision a reward for testers, but we'll have to think about what type of rewards. I don't know. It can be like a free dinner, free lunch, that type of rewards or something. But yeah, we are tracking. So we have compiled a list of people that have interacted with the first beta, the second beta, and I guess we're gonna do the same for this beta, and then we're gonna decide afterwards what we're gonna do for these people. But we're definitely gonna do something, right? Because we want to reward people that have like helped us along the way, and there are many of them that have helped us along the way for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Very, very nice to hear that, and I'm sure the people listening are happy to hear that as well. So you guys, if you haven't yet participated in some of the previous beta, this is your chance to do so. And I see that Polymorph mentioned in chat that he had some issues connecting his wallet and getting based on that.
All right, listen, we can if we can rerun the demo, right? One more time, for everybody that is here, I guess, if you want.
I think a good idea would be maybe we can do a little recording of the demo offline, and then we can include that for everyone in the summary that we're going to post. So that way they can just come back to the recording whenever they need to. Just because I'm having some network issues and it's a bit lagging on my side, so I think it's going to be smoother if we just include it in the summary directly instead of this recording.
Okay,
if that's okay with you guys.
That is an idea. Yeah, that's an idea.
And of course, if anyone has questions about connecting your wallet to the Sozu website or the extension, Jack, where would you recommend they reach out to you guys?
All right, so I'm active on Discord, main on all the channels, and you can also go to our Telegram, right? If you go to our Twitter handle, the Telegram is right there. So you can just click in there and go to our Telegram, and yeah, I'm gonna be there, with any questions that you may have.
Awesome.
Well, me and the other people in the community are gonna help you.
For sure. And if you guys do ask Jack inside the Discord any question, you can also tag Sozu by using the Sozu team tag. And either Jack or Mr. Smith should be able to see that and get notified. Awesome. Well, I think we got through most of the things. Yeah, and most of the questions. I love the demo. I love what you guys are doing. This seems it's a very exciting time for Sozu. So I hope everything goes smoothly. Wish you the best of luck.
It's an exciting time for the DApps community, right?
100%.
Not only Sozu.
100%. Yeah, especially the Dusk community, the Dusk holders, and there's so much going to happen in the next coming period. It's going to be very fun. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Jack, and taking the time and doing the demo and answering all the questions. I think I learned something new today, and I'm sure the community enjoyed it as well.
All right, yeah. Thank you for having me, and I'm happy to show what we have been building. We have sweat a lot to get that going.
I can imagine. You guys did great, and we're definitely gonna have you guys on another team hangout. One of those weekly hangouts in the future as well.
Anytime.
Awesome. Well then, thank you everyone that joined us today. Thanks for the questions, and we'll see you guys next week, probably with one of the Dusk team members. For now, thank you, Jack. Have a good day, and see you guys.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.